Hello and welcome to Digital Streaks, How to Market Yourself Online, where we dive into the world of online marketing and share tips, tricks, and inspiring stories to help you succeed in the digital world. This is a special episode to close our series of short videos on how to market yourself online that we have been doing the past month. We have an amazing guest with us today, Kimberly Damlani, who has extensive experience in online marketing. She owns some businesses as a co-founder or board of director and partner. She primarily does business development, strategic partnerships, and operations management. She's also setting up her own business consulting firm via a partner law firm at present. Say hi, Kim.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for inviting me to the podcast. It's so nice. It's all women. So it's great to see teams of women having a voice and a channel.
Oh, women power. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Kim. All right, we also have the beautiful co-founders of Digital Streaks, Micah and Hanessa. Say hi, guys.
Hi everyone. So nice to be here. Finally, chika-chika na ta.
Yes.
Hello everyone. Maayong buntag or gabi wherever you guys are watching this from or listening in.
Awesome. So I am so honored to be in the presence of bright and talented women today. I am your host, Tiffany, and today we will be talking about how to market yourself online. So let's get started. Kim, we'd love to get to know more about you. Can you tell us about what you do and how you got started as a freelancer?
So as mentioned by Tiffany earlier, so now I'm promoting business consultancy. My dream is to help fellow entrepreneurs and also freelancers get started on building their dreams, from the ideation stage to incorporating to how to find your first client into scaling that up. So I started way back 2016 during the early stages of startups when startups was not yet a thing. And basically, we were just a group of friends who wanted to see our ideas come to life. Kanang chika-chika lang, finding a problem, figuring out how to solve it. And then eventually we incorporated, we had our first corporation. But because we are so inexperienced and we know nothing about how to run a business, we realized that passion alone isn't enough. And we were able to look for people that are more in the traditional side of business, so more on the accounting and the business savvy skills that we don't have. Pero there's a huge mismatch in personalities and interests. And I think that's really the gap in the market because people that are creatives or builders, they just want to build. People that are into business and money, they also want money. There's no mid ground on how to do that. But right now the landscape is changing, especially with people knowing more about freelancing and startups. And we have more support from the government as well. And our minds are shifting now and people are educating themselves about it. So coming from that pain point that I personally experienced, I kind of want to help people not have the costly mistakes that we had back then and guide them through the journey and be able to offer a helping hand. So when it comes to freelancing, nag-start yun ko just asking my fellow office mates that had their side hustles. What's freelancing? Unsa na? Because after work or office, mingon sila, I have to go home kaya napa ko'y client. Unsa man ang client, di ba? Before, when we think of client, are you doing sketchy jobs on the side outside work? So when they explained, katong early days of Upwork, kato siya nga days, they were scouting for clients. So I asked them, what do you mean by clients? What do you mean exactly by that? And what do you do for them? So para kabalo ko nga, you're not into some sketchy things there. So my team was doing more on content writing. So pre-Google days, katong SEO nga algorithm, wala pa ni si Google the way we Google now. And so they were doing a lot of SEO work and content writing for those clients. So I also wanted to get into the world of freelancing. So the best way to do that is to do it yourself. And syempre, walay mo dawat ni mo na client because you don't have a portfolio or an experience, right? So how I got into it was convincing my friends that I'm worth teaching the skills that they already know how. And I did it for free at no cost. So sige, I'll do some of your work, teach me how to do it. I'll learn how to do it. I'll be like under your shadow doing what you needed to do. And then you'll be the one to check if I'm doing it right. So that way I was getting free mentorship. And my friends are happy because I'm like, taking a lot of the burden from them. They can just be like, parang supervisor, I check the quality of your work. And then by the time that I felt like, medyo confident na, kabalon ako. So then I asked them next, like, teach me how to find the first client. Where do you go to find your first client? How do you sell yourself? How do you position yourself out there? And I just mimicked. So parating lang yun, okay. And then by doing it, I realized some of the things that worked for them did not work for me. So I had to find my own style, my own voice, my way of communicating with the client, and some of their skill set, wala nila na anak ko or nana ko, wala nila. So I found complementary things in there. So then I started to collaborate with them after, like, maybe we can offer extra services to market us more than the other freelancers in the market, which will give us an edge, but the client is still paying us the same amount of money, but they're getting more. So we did that, and eventually my network grew because, I'm helping them earn more, also earning in the way. And I think that's how I got into the world of freelancing. And basically, it was just being gutsy and being willing to be taught and to learn and being able to be mentored by others and come from a perspective of parang open-mindedness, what it is that you know, what they know also that dili ka kabalo, and vice versa, collaborate so that you're dili bitaw kanang I really don't like it kanang toxic competitiveness. It's like dog eat dog world out there. Although it's good that we compete, but it also has to be in a way that it feels healthy for us, wherein we're not really trying to intimidate others just to get ahead of them. So I kind of found a way to how to make that work to my advantage without losing my friends, but earning friends along the way. And that was how I really enjoyed also my journey in freelancing.
Okay, so Kim, can you share how you identified your niche? Why did you choose to work on this niche, and how it has helped you market yourself more effectively online?
So for me, it's like, first, I really fell in love with the culture of startups. So I knew I want to find clients that are in the startup industry, specifically because I know the pain points and parang the scale of where they are at in terms of the size of the problem that needs to be solved is kanang something na hiling ako, kaya na ako siya ma-enjoy buhaton. And I have a closer relationship with the owners too. So mas direct ang feedback ba. Kay if I work for bigger clients where you have to be dealing with a key person and daghan pag channels, whereas if I deal with startup owners or small to medium enterprises, you work directly with the owners. And I first-hand discussion on the problem, what I can do to help, what can I do to help you? And if I can't do this, do you need to find other people and I will solve it for you and I'll help you find them. So it was also another way for me to find my network, right? Because for example, kung ingon ang owner, I need this and this done. And then maingon ko, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do that. But I know someone who does, which is another freelancer friend, or I can find another agency, another company, or another freelancer to do it for you. So that's also a way for me to build my network, not at my own pocket. It's not at my expense. It's like in a fine, but you have to also do it ethically, right? And be transparent. Now, wala po kay vested interest din na ako, nga akong na-earn kickback and all. So it was really more of a relationship building for me. And that was how I knew na kanina problem, this is a problem that can be easily replicated in that particular segment or that particular market. And so if you do that, that's a good strategy that I'll advise. If you do that, it's easier for you to scale yourself. Okay, for example, let's say lang content writer ka. If moingon ka nga, I wanna write content for, let's just say, AI. Then mo jump na pud ka. I wanna write content for NFTs. I wanna write content for cars. Medyo kaya man, pero lisod siya. Kaya magsige ka jump from one industry to the next, and it will be hard for you to have the knowledge bitaw nga specific to that industry. So why not start with, I wanna write articles for AI lang yun. So it solves everything that you can learn about AI, and then position yourself kung unsa. So daghan man gamit ang AI, right? So like narrow it down specifically.
Niche down.
So yes, unsa man siya kanang education ba nga sector, agriculture ba, and then kanang find a problem and fall in love with it. And I really mean it, because if musulat ka na balik-balik ra gid nga problem, and you have to be somewhat of an expert para mas dali nimo siya mabuhat, right? Kay if let's see kung mas sige na kagsulatan na master na ka, it will probably take you only an hour now to get everything done, research included down to writing. But if you transfer to another niche, another industry, that will probably take you 2 to 3 hours. So the extra 2 hours there, if you think of it, nakasulat no ta kaglahing article nga na paid na ka. So duha ang time mo earning instead of one. But so the moment that you master it, expand na din ka. You can then expand. And if naman kayo ma-encounter na problem, kahit tiyungan nimo ba, ma-familiar na magod ka, kay kabalo na ka nga, mo gini ang common patterns diri nga industry, mo ni siya nga problem. So, dali na ka maka-advise nila. So, if you jump from one thing to the next, at least make sure na related industry sila, or na sila pinpoint nga common. Kay if you're always starting from scratch,
True.
murag jack of all trades ka, pero you're also not being, there's nothing wrong about being jack of all trades, by the way, ha? Pero it's better to have basic industry knowledge about that. Para if mo jump man ka from one thing to the next, nabito kay foundational nga, mubalik ka din ha, kabalo ka, kisa mo jump ka niya, pag human, wala gid kay idea, back na pud ka to ABCs. So you're not really being wise about how you invest your time and your focus. So katong excess time na imong gigamit to research pa, to start from ABC, could have already earned twice already.
So
No.
basically, you niche down, then hyper focus on that before you try expanding.
Yes.
Exactly. So, follow-up question. So, in your experience with your niche, where do you usually find your ideal target clients, and how do you reach out to them?
I would consider at the same sa metaphor sa fishing. So if you want tuna, daghan man kay ocean sa world. Asa man daghan ang tuna? Pacific Ocean or sa Arctic Ocean? And then next is that, what kind of bait do tunas like? So if you're gonna go to the tuna fishing ground, then offer them a bait that they will most likely want. So basin si tuna doesn't like octopus, so don't bring octopus as your bait. Go bring in a shrimp. And then, be that shrimp. Pero if mato ka dito, if you talk to them na may common language speak, identify ka silang problem, ka-relate ka silang jargon. Oh, when they talk about this is what they mean. So, mas dali para sa imo i-position imo self. Kay if mo-go ka dito niya, magstorya sila, let's say about AI, niya, wala jud kay hanaw, maski what AI means, then why are you there? It doesn't mean na tuna lang dapat imong i-market, right? Maybe you're better off dealing with the sharks, kay dito da imong strength. Or fish, sardines, ginagmay siya, not as big as tuna, but then if you have like pila man, 100 kilos of sardines, 100 kilos of sardines might still be equivalent to one tuna. It's still not that bad. So I would just look at it in that perspective.
How did you
I
find
feel
your
like,
clients?
being a business owner is also a part-time detective. When we are looking for clients, we try to get to know everything about them and what they could possibly need help with that we can offer. I feel like that's also something that you have to master if you are going to be a service provider, like knowing yung pain points or ng ideal clients mo, and where they usually hang out as well. Like what you said, asama na ocean. Like for us in Digital Streaks, we usually find these in LinkedIn. But for the startup communities, where do you usually find that, Kimberly?
So startups have their own groups. So there's a community in Facebook. There's like Startup PH Jobs and Startup PH Network. There's also events specific to startups, kanang mga organized sa government. You can also attend mga tech conferences because a lot of startups are typically tech, although now they're expanding into other areas like agri-tech or clothing, sustainability. So go to communities where they typically would hang out. And by the way, also, if you're looking to get really big amount of money from startup clients, you also have to know which stage in their journey asa na sila karon. Maybe if they're in the seed round, they would not spend a lot of money on certain services.
True.
But if they got investment money, then go ahead, like, offer them a really good rate. And if their kanang time is not on their side, they would pay you more kaya they really need the service out of urgency.
Yeah.
So another thing also is find the key people in that community. So parang imong stakeholders, who are the community organizers in terms of from the academe, from the government, from the private sector. So get to know them and then understand kung sa ilahang mga current interests. So like you said, research, right? So figure out asa man ang government sa money karon, aha man sila nakafocus. So look into that. Then if that's where the interest is, that's also going to be a lot of the problems that they want to solve. And they're looking for problem solvers. So na fit bitaw. The problem exists and the problem solvers are also being sought out. Kesa sa mag-sell ka, murag dili pa low-hanging fruit ba, you're still convincing them na, hey, this is your problem. Even though it's they acknowledge it's a problem, but maybe it's not a problem they want to solve right now. Whereas, kanang, na siya, murag hapit na mahinog na problem. So, kabalo na sila nga, kailangan naging ko mangita o service provider ani nga area. So, make yourself available. By making yourself available, the moment na nanato ang interest, we're like, okay, you're there, you're the first person I spoke to. Most likely, there were kanang illusion of choice. Wala man siguro mag-scout o problem solver na 20 options, no? Nobody has the time to review that. So most of the time, it's like the availability. So ikaw ang nauna or naka sa first 3 or first 5 or let's just say 10. So then you'll get a higher chance na makuha, gini mo na siya nga client. So, find the breeding ground where they hang out, make yourself available, and then also talk to them in ways that they'd like to be talked to because mas easier na ikot ilang attention and mas dali ka kastorya kay you're in the same wavelength na ba?
Great. So, basically, identify your fish, tuna ba siya or shark ba siya? And then, you bring the right bait. So, yeah, that's it. And okay, so next question. When you're looking for leads or possible clients, is there anything in your socials or website that attracts or hooks your leads to schedule a sales call or discovery call with you, like a lead magnet? What's your strategy?
I'll teach you a really good strategy sa LinkedIn. Nganong matingala na sila, uy, nganong friends mo ni so-and-so, ano ba, mabigatin lugar nga name. So, LinkedIn, you have to understand the algorithm of every social media. So LinkedIn is all about who you know, right? Mo nang pag mo na si LinkedIn, wala gi kay mutual friend, mga gina siya email. Like, add the email of this person in order to add. Send them a request. So then, how do you bypass the algorithm? So be smart. Find a person na mutually kaila mo. So depende man na sa connection, right? You have a first connection, a second, or a third connection. So if you have the first connection, there's a higher probability na i-automatically add ka to niya. Whether kaila siya nimo personally or wala. Then that already gives you the potential na di na ka mo bayad to send an email. So keep collecting, again, your big players. The more people na naa sila sa key sector or industry, and then, for example, ako, uy, kinsa ni si Tiffany? And then pag-check na ko, friends sila ni Kuan. Okay, I'll confirm you because they have a mutual network or contact. So parang my way to vouch for you was the other person that we both knew. Mm-hmm. So LinkedIn works that way and that's just a strategy I did. Mas dali siya. Facebook though is totally different. Sometimes Facebook is all about presenting your output, yourself, or your image. Okay, see, Facebook is more on kanabitang selling the story. So, if nasa lang business ngayon, ani, unsa man ilang business exactly? Sometimes it's what you do, less of who you are. LinkedIn is more of who you are, and then what you do. Mm-hmm. And Instagram is also a different algorithm. So, I think you have to first identify kung unsa nga strategy ka comfortable. Ako, I feel that LinkedIn and Facebook is more organic for me. Kaysa kung mag-add ko sa Instagram, murag creepy man. Kay, for me, I feel at least Instagram is more personal. Ano ba? So I wouldn't probably add a client or a potential network or investor in Instagram unless close na me. Na personal relationship na build. And also if kanang murag na-consent nila siguro or basta na certain dynamics ang relationship, I would feel na if wala yun me mutual friends, for example, I would add them first on LinkedIn rather than add them right away on Facebook. Kay, again, social media is for me as still a bit personal. And again, understand the algorithm and the behavior of how people use this channel. So if mo to kag LinkedIn, murag lain kayo kung magsikag post dito sa update sa imuhang success, kaya murag kag gloating. I feel like LinkedIn in a way is more of milestones or summary.
Yeah.
Ana mga big moments yun ang LinkedIn, and whereas Facebook is like bits and pieces of updates of like your small wins or like hyping up leading to a major win that you want. And ito, make it as organic as possible because no one likes to be sold on anything. Ang sales pitch yun is dili siya attractive. What's more attractive is when you connect to them on a natural way. Like for example, if you tell them, hey, congratulations, I noticed that you just recently opened a shop. Then. So people naturally respond to compliments, right? Like, chance that they'll be grateful and thankful for you. So the next time you ask them, how's the shop going na? You ask them organically on sa ilahang problems. And then when you realize, oh, that's a problem I know how to solve. Then you can tell them, I've encountered a similar problem in the past, or I know someone that can help you. Maybe it would be a good idea. Would you be interested to discuss it and explore more on this problem and see how we can solve it? And also, people really like others nga nag-offer of help. Because if someone offers help and by when I mean help, also when you're genuine dili pud nang transactional kay ka, however, itong sketchy kaya I'm gonna offer my help because, I need something from you. And even the simplest things like when you're helpful, the next time you offer your hand to someone else, they're most likely willing to hear you out. So if you have already a natural relationship sa ila, natural banter, mas dako mo ang chance na when the need happens and when you talk to them, it's easier to convert them. Kaysa first time mo nagstorya niya, na siya multi-million problem niya, imo na din siyang indo niya, isolve na ko na. Pero wala kay credibility ba? So, when I do that, for me, it works. Kanang mas dali siya sa ako. And I know that this doesn't work for everyone, but for me, a relational way of selling is more strategic for me and it works better for me rather than mag-hard sell gid ko. Now may mga people that they can do that and they're really excellent at it, but given my personality and ako pod values, dili ko inana sumurag batik kanang kiwa bitaw kaayo mo kali ka storya nga na ako mismo kay dili siya kanang appetizing for me what I'm saying. Dili siya organic ba? So when I feel that I'm being genuine, it's also easy for me to upsell and to schedule calls and then convert that into a relationship.
I definitely think what you said, Kim, relates to your previous answer kanina about finding where the fishes are in what oceans they are. Like, for example, with LinkedIn, since you're in the startup industry, right? Like, I definitely think LinkedIn would be a better place for that. And then Facebook with the Facebook groups. But Instagram, not for tech, unless they're probably selling some sportswear or some kind of health drink na startup or some kind of, you know what I mean, mga RTWs or food and beverage na lifestyle brands na type of startups. Maybe you'd be able to reach them on Instagram. Pero mga tech people, I doubt that they even have time to post on Instagram.
Yeah, wala.
And it's outlet naman good na personal naman good na outlet ng mga tao dito sa Instagram. Unless, they are kind of mga unsa jud small influencers that's building a brand type of, like for example, nag-sell sila og green juice na ilang line or whatever. But I think that's not your area. More on tech man ka, right?
Ano pod ko, I think I'm better sa mga technical kaysa kanang like inana ba, so knowing your skill set pod, it helps pod kung mo makikstorya ka. Like for example sa akong team, specifically kung sales, naman ka ng relationship building pa bitaw, mga chit-chat, ano ba, the dance, the courtship going to a sale, diligid ko maayo na dili pud ko ganahan. I would rather ka nang straight to the point bitaw nga, pros and cons, mo ni siya, technical, this is what you get, kanang transparency ba, dili ko kanang maayo gid sa kanang imo pang i-report kayo si client. So again, knowing how to present yourself unsa imuhang strength and then what feels genuine sa imuha, kay kung maski pag unsa nga pitch bitaw, grabe ka maayo nga script, if a person really feels na dili ka genuine, dili gyapon na mo dayon imong client sa imuha, kay mura okay, kabalo ka nga ng sale lang ni siya sa kuha, then after babay na. So ako, I would rather kanang do something na kabalo ko nga kung ako ba, if I'm in the shoes of the client, I know genuinely nga what I'm offering would help them or benefit them. I'm not just really after their money and closing the sale and bala na mo. So, kato, I really go for more on building relationships because kung naamagod ko na network, it's easier to keep on getting clients bitaw sustainably. Baska unsa ka gamay nga service, basta they're happy, then mas dali na din ang referral sa sunod. Pag ma-feel po na ako nga, this is really a great opportunity. Pero mas dako bitaw ang risk nga ma-burn ang relationship. Murag, I would rather not. Maybe it's better nga ipasa na ko sila sa lain. Yeah, so, exactly. I think finding what works for you it always starts with how much you know about yourself and unsa pud ka trusting sa imong team. Okay, usahay, it adds to the doubt when you're pitching your service, whether you're doing it on your own or if you have a team. But if you don't believe in what you're offering, it would be very hard to convince other people to give you the money.
So takeaway from that is be authentic and be genuine good when facing clients.
Yes.
Okay. So here in Digital Streaks, we usually give them a brochure and schedule them for a discovery call to get to know their needs. For freelancers watching us on their devices, is there any advice you can give them in cases where your leads are not replying or they put you in the scene zone?
The less I know about them, the less chance that I will hear from them. So by knowing, I mean that, for example, ang problem nila, do I really understand the pain where it's coming from? So let's say if mayroon sila na we're on a limited budget, that's just the starting point of the conversation. Kung sa magiday ang budget na, maybe by little they mean $10,000 they too. Yeah, I thought little is $1,000. Right? Same po sa ilang problem, like specifically unsa na siya nga pain point, and then how big of a problem is that for them na dapat ba nila na ma-solve within the week, within the month, within the year. So I really try to get to know the situation and get to know the people more. So ang standard is una is the time, the budget, the process. So ang process is like how do they want the problem to be solved? Kidaghan man strategies how to attack a problem, right? So do they like it my way or do they like a certain way of solving a specific problem? So you also have to serve it in a platter nga appealing sa ila. Kung mag-cook og meal ba, nawa na okay, basin mo ilang ganahan nga way kay Friday ay my way is to boil it. So dili appetizing sa ila even though it's the same meal, bitaw. So the more that you know the problem, the better it is for you to serve it in a way that would be more appetizing for them to reply to you. So kung maka-receive kong email and then generic lang, okay, it's just another email, I would less likely respond to that versus someone who I felt like they really did the work to understand my problem. So kung mag-discovery call me, gamay na lang ang kada bitong chika-chika nga catch up, stay to the point na magwalan, madadayon, deal done. Rather than kana. So again, that ties up to ako manggod nga person kay ganahan ko ba closer ko naman goy depende po sa pipeline nimo sa sales where you are at already, because you could still be at the discovery stage, could still be at negotiation. I'm really knowing how to position that would also help you in kind of managing expectation if this lead will convert easily or not.
Mm-mm. So when talking to potential clients or leads, you really have to get to know them first or do your research before reaching out to them so that imuhang messages nila dili templated. So you put in things
Mm,
there that are unique to their website or to their company so that makibawsad sila nga okay, gi check out gid ko ani niya. So
yes, and a great skill to have there is knowing how to ask the right kind of questions. So, opposite man God, sometimes when we schedule discovery call, we think na kanang nata sa call para bitaw mo talk more. But the skill is actually how do you get them to talk more about themselves? By asking the right questions, sila no ay nakastoryag daghan gamulo sila storya kamo sa kag-process nga so kadan more keywords mo dito yung problem so katong nga word ang yang pain point so mao to kung gamiton and kanang sabi tong sa psychology hack nga the more kanang ano ba more mirroring the more nga you talk to them in a language that they like or that resonates with them the more that they also felt seen, heard, and understood kung relationship para mo intimacy. Kaya mas nasabtan mo ba kung unsa to ang ilahang problema. So, during a discovery call, it's better nga you practice more about kanang active listening, knowing what kind of questions to ask, and feeling allowing them to feel safe pod kay if the client also doesn't feel nga okay sketchy man nga person I don't want them to tell really what my problem is kay basin they're gonna use that to my disadvantage or ilan ang i-leak to someone else and bitaw nag-data gathering na dahil siya wala di siya interest to help me yun so if you make them feel safe then you're trustworthy enough people are very willing to share about their pain points and listen intently get the katong context cues and then kuan pa kanang dig deeper into the problem and then you can package the way that you solve the problem in you serve it in a platter that is more appealing to them.
Since you have become an independent freelancer, are there any areas in your sales funnel or business development that you are automating or using tools to help with? We're currently in the age of AI and we're seeing a lot of businesses take advantage of this in their process. Is there any good advice you can give our viewers when it comes to automating some of your marketing or business development efforts?
Dili siya AI in a way, but for us, it's more of like kanang ang CRM na mo. Karon good, everything is mobile. It's less actually emails now. It's more on like SMS na outreach and also scheduling kanang discovery meetings. Sa una, it's more of like if you send an email, you kind of would like send a follow-up email again, right? Oh, kanang, have you checked my email? When can we schedule a conversation? Currently, people actually want to talk more kanang in person. So more active communication, most clients would prefer that way. So for us, if mag-send me og mga follow-up na mga information, we try to send them like automated SMS text also, like kanang naimong brand. But then when we reach out, we would also like offer like because we've taken a lot of your time, now we tayo direct incentive or benefit. Like you can say, okay, get a certain discount if you reply to this text, or if you meet us, we're gonna buy you coffee. So when you incentivize people, they're most likely willing to respond. Okay, again, typically, ang impression of good sa sales is, what are they gonna get from me? So kung gina-opposite nimo, this is what you get from us at the minimal effort na ilang ihatag sa imo just by taking a chance, there's a huge possibility na mas mo-reply sila. So, kuan lang yun ka ng mga scheduling tools to tell you kung when was the last conversation that you had. Gmail right now even does that, right? It tells you this email hasn't been responded 6 days ago. Like it could flag or alert you. So kana small gestures to identify if the communication is passive or active, and also the tone on how you present yourself when you're talking to them.
Thank you so much for your time and sharing your expertise with our audience, Kim. Do you have any advice for our viewers, especially for our members in Filipino remote careers, that you would like to give?
Be hungry to learn, and also unlearning is also done actively. Like lalo na karon, like especially kami ni Tanessa mas dugay na mino. So sometimes murag ma-pigeonhole ni mo ang experience ba from what works sa una, we would still expect na it could be the strategy that would still work because it's worked before. Kanang social listening bitaw. By social listening I mean kanang crowdsourcing also the opinions of other people kung unsa ang trends and insights karon. And then at the same time, comparing it to your strategies. Are those strategies going to be touched in your current plan of execution? Kay, basin, for example, na quarter planning mo, and then you would think like, okay, sa quarter 4 pa na mo ni isolve the problem. But then when you did crowd listening, na-realize mo, okay, it's actually a problem that's already persistent now. So then you have to also adjust your strategies and, to make that work, right? So kung freelancer ka, you really need to be able to be active in listening and in solving the problem where you are at. If that's your main income, kahit 5 to 10 minutes a day siguro, find a way to get the data or the trends. So how do you do that? Siguro social media. Find what's trending and look at the trends in the industry, unsa mga jobs or employment are out in the market. What problems ang common yun ginastoryahan sa mga tao nga paulit-ulit nga wala paghihapon na solve until now. I'm sure where there's a problem, there's a solution, and find the solution. That's where the money is. And also, talk to people, but come with the mindset of just wanting to help them. Kanang dili in a way na magstorya ko sa ila because I wanna get them as a client, I wanna get them as a whatever. Like instead of a mindset of taking, come with the mindset of what can you offer and what you can give them. Because when you come from a place of being able to offer something, it means magod you're equipped, right? Okay, what can you offer to someone who already has a lot? So then you self-reflect and manguta na kasi gugalingan sa man ang wala sa ila that I could bring to them. If it's me or if it's someone I know, if you approach that, people are kanang they like someone who makes their life easier. So be someone who makes people's lives easier, and for sure people wanna work with you, people wanna be around you, and I think that can be a good tip to be successful in life.
To our audience watching this, wherever you are right now, we encourage you to follow us on our socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn for more tips and tricks and success stories in the world of online marketing. You are also very welcome to join our supportive community of remote Filipino professionals on Facebook. The group is called Filipino Remote Careers. Once you join, you will enjoy exclusive member-only perks, amazing job opportunities, and daily work tips. And we hope to see you there. And we will be uploading, like the one that Ate Micah mentioned, like mga shorts to help you guys sa inyong freelancing careers, remote work tips, AI tools, and whatever. So feel free to join Filipino Remote Careers on Facebook. And yes, until next time, I'm Tiffany, and here's to your digital marketing success. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.